this one's kind of interesting. I actually got some information about what happened.
Which we never get.
Yeah, and some videos, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is a PD100.
PD100.
It's got an AM remote control on it, and it's got a through drive, so it's attached to something else on their machinery. It says basically right before lunch the unit made a noise twice. Then after lunch, the electrician came, blah blah blah, saying they have a big leak. And then I guess there's videos, so we can look at that. So that's a pretty obvious shaft seal leak. So she got some oil there. There's nothing obvious, but I mean from the video it's pretty self-explanatory. There's only one spot the oil could be coming from on that side of the
which would be
the mounting plane.
Here.
So now we'll have to investigate the noise. Maybe something triggered that inside of it.
Oh, you guys played your first game yesterday.
We didn't. It got canceled. The city canceled it because the field was too wet. Still.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty upset. I was ready to.
Yeah.
I was ready to play. So.
Man.
Next week.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can see the oil just like it's pouring out of there. Something's popped.
Hopefully it's an easy fix for them.
Well, yeah, I mean the noise is what concerns me, but we'll see when we open it up. These ones you gotta be careful too because this end cap is under spring tension, so you kind of have to bring it up evenly. Yeah, it popped up a little bit there.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think this runs something for some sort of power unit, is what I'm getting out of
it. You're used to working on these, or?
Yeah, these ones have been pretty common at my bench. I think these are one of the first piston pumps I actually learned on.
Oh.
Started a lot smaller and then gradually worked your way up.
Yeah.
But they're about the same configuration internally, some minor differences, but if you can do a small one, you can figure out a big one. Now really, we gotta just look for kind of anything out of the ordinary because it's essentially a brand new pump. Bias spring and bias piston. There's some wear marks on there. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Kind of looks like water etching, what Lloyd and Trent usually call it.
I don't know. It's a weird mark. We got a control piston, which also has some wear here, which is common between pumps that have been running for a long time.
Running a long time, that's the key word.
So let's take a look at the port plate. Yeah, there's some like startup marks there, but that's not uncommon for startup. It's not grooves or anything, they're just marks.
Lappable?
Yeah, that you could probably lap that out in like a minute or less.
Yeah.
Bearing, spacer ring. That doesn't feel like it's broken or anything. That's what sucks about being short with these big ones. Nothing super concerning about that surface. Well, let me get the pistons out first and then we'll finish.
They're not like the brass color.
Yeah, they kind of switch them up between newer and older or different models. You kind of see a little bit of, I don't know the reason for it, but. So those surfaces, nothing standing out that being worn out weird. But we'll go and check them on it here. Zero pull off. tolerances on those should be good. It's a newer pump. You want to check this for any cracks or anything like that. Doesn't look damaged really. There's some wear on there, but nothing concerning. Moving on.
To me, that doesn't look good, but...
So your bearing sits here, and then this is where your seal sits. That could just be dirt.
You don't feel anything with your nail?
I don't feel anything, but we'll have to clean it off and take a closer look. So we have some shaft damage here. Because in my head I'm thinking of a noise near the shaft seal. If that was the issue, maybe something spun in the coupler, like if maybe the key like rolled or something, or because if that was the case, it could make sense if it jolts the shaft a little bit and then creates a break in the seal, something like that. But I don't see any evidence of that. It's going to be a tricky one, I guess.
There's really only a couple more parts left.
Yep. So we have our swash plate, which doesn't look too bad. It's got some wear, but this is your pressure side right here. So it's normal to have a little bit more wear on there. Nothing really wrong looking with that. Everything looks normal. It could just be a defective seal, shaft seal too.
And that's it?
It could be.
Can we see the shaft seal? Like would you look at that closely?
Yeah, like from this side it looks fine, but... Oh, I just figured out what happened.
Okay.
That's funny.
It wasn't like that when we...
No, what do you see that's wrong with that right now?
Well, it's sideways, like it's pushed in.
You see, obviously this part
it's underneath.
This part is still in the groove.
The other part isn't.
This part is not. It should fit level in that groove.
So yes, this part here is correct because it's under.
Yes.
And this part, I'm just trying to get
is visibly elevated, like it popped out of that groove.
on top of the groove.
So what we have to do is take this out and make sure that it didn't break any of the casting when it did that.
Oh.
Because it could be as simple as this wasn't installed correctly.
Okay.
This got popped out. Now I don't know for sure if it's case pressure or if it wasn't installed properly, but they said they heard a noise and then started leaking everywhere. It would take a decent amount of pressure to do that, right? In a case?
No.
No?
5 psi, 10 psi.
Really?
The shaft seal is kind of designed to fail, because if this doesn't fail, your housing will crack. If they have a pressurized tank, where I doubt if they would on a mobile or industrial application, on some of the mobile stuff, they actually pressurize the tank so that it pushes the oil better. If that exceeds the case, then the weakest thing is going to fail, right?
Pressurized tank. It's very useful to avoid any suction in the inlet of a pump. Ideally, you want a little bit of push of that oil into the inlet of the pump. Starts with the compressor here, and that is at about 125 psi, so that's a screw compressor that's loading up. A line comes and it goes into a tank here, or the reservoir. And this reservoir, you could tell it's a pressurized reservoir by its shape. So this one is a cylinder as opposed to just a gravity-fed reservoir, such as this one here. The air for these ones comes into here. This is controlled by the PLC, so a computer controls it, turns on the air into the system. This regulates the air that goes into this tank, and then this device will release the air if you want to discharge the pressure in here. Pressurizing this tank avoids you having to put the tank up in the air to make sure that the oil flows down into the pump. So what Lloyd is saying, they could be using a pressurized tank, and if they over-pressurize it, then the oil, the entire suction line will have it, and the oil will actually leak out of the case of the pump or the shaft seal. And we've had that happen as well. And it doesn't necessarily blow the shaft seal out, it'll just start to leak out of it.
All right, I'll write my report, and maybe they can ask the customer some questions about their system.
Yeah. Who's to say that they weren't doing something? Maybe they have a wrong valve in there. They have the relief valve set way too high. They closed something went pop, back pressure. Without a system, or a schematic for the system, or a little more information, we're fucking guessing.
Yeah, it's hard to say. All right, sounds good.
My 2 cents.
At this point, I'm just gonna write my report, what I found, send the pictures off, and they might have to dive a little deeper into their system setup.
Yeah.
See if anything could cause that excessive pressure, and if not, well, I mean, it could just be a defective snap ring, or anything could have happened.
There's no way to test the snap ring, is there?
I mean, if it's, as long as it's, but we'll take it out and look at it. Yeah, it's all there, so that's not an immediate issue. So if you see normally what it's supposed to look like when it's in there,
Yeah.
it should sit nice and flush like that. So to me, it would be really, I think it would be hard to pop that out of there.
Yeah. Because that's like strong, metal, right?
It's in between metal, yeah. So it either held together during factory testing enough, or there's something wrong with their system. It's one of the two. But yeah, I mean, luckily for them, I think it might be just a new shaft seal.
Which we could easily do today, throw in a new one and have it out the door.
Yeah, get it tested, and yeah, that they could definitely have it back. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this.
Okay. Okay then.
That's me. That's me.
I will come back and I will make sure I put in a penny sleeve for you.
Yes, please do that.
Okay, thank you. Gonna go get Damien his P1 card because he just worked on it. As promised.
Oh, beauty.
Okay, thank you.